Are we there? Oh, fucking shit. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Are we there? Maybe? Maybe? Are we there? Awesome. Okay, Jesus Christ, we're here. Holy fucking shit. You guys have no idea. It was working. Swear to God. Like, fucking... I had it all set up right before 8 o'clock, and I can test it on YouTube. I can actually open the stream up and watch it. Listen to it. Everything was great. I was talking to Matt with Trillion, and everything was working perfect. Goddamn. As soon as I hit the start stream button, nothing. Alright, guys. Holy shit. Sorry about that. Just... Last week I had problems. This week I had problems. So, hopefully we should be good now. Alright, so anyways, welcome back everybody to another Thunderous Productions video. I am the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this will be Minecraft. I am just starting up, let's see, it says desktop is running. No, it's not running because you're being a dickhead. Let me shut that off for a minute. I'm going to bring the desktop back up. I always got problems. I've always got fucking problems with this shit. Probably gonna lose it. No, here we go. Cool, great, awesome. All right, verify I got sound, guys. I'm pretty sure I do. Check it in the comment section over there. I'd appreciate it. Enjoyed last week's help with a few of my builds. Glad I could help. Callum, appreciate it. Matt, I'm in, buddy. Felt like I was staring into your soul. Some things I want to work on this week is those that follow me on Twitter. I tweeted out earlier I want to try to do a little bit of MCEDIT. I'm going to pull it up, show people how to download it, the things that I know about it and how to use it. And we're going to... Oh shit, I just fucked up something. I just did. Matt, is it fucking working? God damn it. Hang on. I'm just making sure the stream, I'm getting some fucking text here that say the stream ain't working right. So anyways, I'm going to build up some things with MCEDIT. We're going to go into the BIB world, and we're going to check out some things in there. The flat world. Okay, thanks, Matt. We're going to check out some things in there. I'm going to show you the custom texture pack that I've been working on all day today. I got the sub-tutorial up this morning for those who haven't seen it yet. Please go check that out. I would appreciate it. That would be awesome. And so let's see here. We're going to go ahead and get this started up. Close this out. Maybe that's why it wasn't working. I'm going to go ahead and start up my game. Hope everybody had a great week. I had a double posting last week of the BIB workshop again because I ran into problems with Wirecast. That's what we have to use for YouTube, and it was a major pain in the ass. So it actually recorded it twice. The first 10 minutes or so was fucked up, and it posted it. It's not showing in my fucking videos, but people are still finding it, and it says the video is still processing, and it's over a week old. So if you're looking for episode 2, you're gonna have to look for the second one. Go to my main channel, and you can find it on that in the video section. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and jump over to Minecraft. I am on 1.4.4. I've got my client finally updated again. I've got MC Patcher in and too many items. So we're going to jump right into the final tutorial world first. And I want to show you a couple things in there. Am I running? Yeah, the texture pack. The texture pack, again, we're working on Minecraft for Kids. This is what some of it looks like here. That's part of the original pack. Some things that I've changed is obviously the wool, which, well, I guess it wouldn't be obvious to you guys because you're not really sure yet. Let me get some daylight here. I went ahead and changed the wool over, and I'm using Glimmer Steampunk because that's what I use on all my my ship builds. That's what looks really good. So that's what I went ahead and incorporated into the pack. Bad Bat. So I've got all the wood, all the wool into that. There's the sub tutorial we did earlier. I got that uploaded. Real happy about that. I had about 11 hours on that fucker last night, just in the recording. And then I couldn't tell you how many hours of editing and rendering. All right, so some things that I've changed in the flat world, and I'm hoping the flat world should be ready by next week's regular episode. I'm going to try to get a regular BIB episode up next week. So I should have the flat world for that one. Tomorrow, when I get up and get rolling a little bit, I'm going to put together a real quick video, and it'll be a BIB, and I will have the regular BIB world download ready, along with the texture pack that I have ready. Here's the pirate ship. I've changed the wool. I'm using Affinity for Jesus Christ for the wood. And then the wood planks is also Affinity. I had glimmers in there because I really liked the planks. It looked really good, but it didn't look good on some of the houses. So I'm trying to keep a custom texture pack that looks good on all the builds together that are going to be in the BIB world. So that's what I've been working on most of the afternoon. Let's see, what else did I do? I changed out the wood. The sandstone. I changed out a couple of sandstones to, I think that was also Affinity. What else did I change? I'm trying to remember. The torches. I changed out some of the torches, and we'll look at that here in the BIB world in a few. The doors. Oh, I changed out the doors for the ship. The ones that were on there before were cartoony, and I still want to hold on to that the cartoon feel, but I grabbed the Affinity doors too. They look a little fancy for the ship. I still may change them out, but I'm not sure. But the reason why I picked those is because they match the wood really good. And then the iron doors, or the steel doors, I picked off glimmers. That way I can use the ones that have the hatches, and so the iron doors will only be used on the ships. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then I picked up the torches out of Von Doom's, so I changed those out today. What else did I change out? No food, none of that bullshit. Some blocks. I know I changed out some other blocks today too. It was all wood and the sandstone. Let's look down through here. Trying to remember. The stone bricks. I changed out the stone bricks today. Not the cracked ones, but the regular ones, and I think those I used out of Von Doom. And of course, all the chairs, all the stairs changed over. I still want to change out the emerald block, the glowstone. I'm still debating on which one I want to use for that yet. So there's still a couple other things that I want to try to get ready. And like I said, as I stated before, and as far as the texture pack world goes, and all of that good stuff, it will be updated. Each week or each episode that comes out, the pack will be updated. So that's how that's going to work. I've noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed yet, but there's some light glitches in 1.44, the torches. Every now and again I will pick up a light just randomly floating. So there's definitely some glitches in this son of a bitch too. I hate updating. It seems like the last several updates have really been bad as far as glitches go in Minecraft. I've still got my 1.2.5 client that I use for my tutorials and all that kind of shit. And I went ahead and put the pirate ship in water. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. How to take like a boat and add water around it in a regular world. How to take your schematic and either copy it with water or without. We're going to work on that here in a little bit. I added the submarine way the fuck over there with some water around it, and I'll pull that up. For right now, let me drop over into the regular BIB world, and I'll check your comments and stuff here in just a minute, because I can't pull that up right now. But if you guys go ahead and throw a like down there for me, I'd really appreciate it. All right, here's the BIB world. That will be up for download probably tomorrow. And I went ahead, and this is the I think that was Von Doom cracked stone bricks. I can't remember. I'll have to look it all up, but I'll put it in like a notepad with the download in the zip package of what is changed as of right now and what pack that it came from. I think it looks pretty good. I'm really pleased with the wood right now, and that is from Affinity. Like I said, it looks really good on the trestles. Very sexy, very touchable. So, anyways, that's what this area looks like right now. The main town over this way, and we'll just kind of fly up the river here a little bit, and I'll show you the older part of town, because that's where things, I think, kind of blend in really good with this texture pack. And even right up through here in the newer part of town, I think things look really good. You know, the new wood that I've put in, as far as for the trees, the logs, I think they turned out, it looks really good, contrasted against the Minecraft for Kids background, as far as like the grass and the trees. I'm not going to change that, because I want to hold that base to the pack, and still have kind of like that cartoony feel, but I want some other blocks that I've been trying to change along the way, just to be customized for this world. For all the builds that I use, or that I've built, or that I'm going to build, I'd like to have just one pack that I use for the most part. There's still going to be some that I'm not going to be able to always use, like the aircraft carrier just is going to have to be, not really have to, but it looks better in Glimmer Steampunk. It's just hands down, just the battleship, same way. So here's the older part of town we haven't looked at in quite some time. So this looks pretty good. There's the wood, and again the torches. That house actually looks better now. I always I liked it, but I didn't. And then upstream, yeah, the build that we worked on last week, that was in the 125 world, or client. So that building isn't here. I don't know if I'll transplant that up into the new world or not, or the newer town. I haven't decided yet. If you guys want it, let me know, or you want me to finish it and then put it in. Just leave some comments down there and let me know. Like I said, I'll check the comments here in just a minute. This was the biggest thing that I want to do, is kind of give everybody a heads up, those that follow the stream tonight, what's coming tomorrow. And the video tomorrow will probably be pretty much like it is today. I'm just going to be reiterating a lot of stuff that I'm going over tonight. So let me drop down out of here for a second. Let me fly and give you guys something to look at while I check the comments and see how everybody's doing tonight, which I hope everybody's doing good. Whoops. Let me pull up the chat. That'll help. All right. I'll pull it up so you guys can see it. That's no good. We need to stream with Pyro on War Z. Yeah, Tyler, I got a PM from him about 2 weeks ago about streaming War Z. He's got a group that he goes out with. I told him if I got time, I'd definitely make a run or two with him. Let's see, not like promotion, like I guess I just started at the fucking bottom. I'm reading the damn shit backwards. All right, and then again, it's going to remove some. I want to read it. It won't let me read it. No homo hugs. Appreciate it, Silk. Callum, again, thanks for stopping by tonight. Again, those stopping by from the DG2F, appreciate you guys watching that one. It was a lot of fun. I still got a massive headache. I think I blew a vessel or something in the side of my head. There's the sound problems. We went through all that. And building a town, thanks to you, looks epic, and burning myself to death because a stupid admin had the power of lightning. Nice. Yeah, that would kind of piss me off, Silk. Is it okay to share links? What kind of links do you want to share, Callum? Promotional links, pics of builds and War Z. Finish it maybe. Matt, look well in a city area. Oh, okay. You're talking about the building from last week. Yeah, like I said, I'm thinking about finishing it. I'm probably gonna, probably not like in the next week or so, but it's on the back burner. There's some other things that I want to do first. I kind of wanted to have a lot more done in the BIB world before I released it for download. Some better ways of travel. I think the world is set to creative mode, but I'm not 100% sure. If it is, you can. I know you can switch it over if it's on hardcore or whatever. I think we can do that now and here, but I can't remember. I'm not sure. Without my fucking mods, somebody can confirm that for me. I would appreciate that. But anyways, I set the world up a while back for people that want to actually build in this world and continue building where I'm building, they can collect their own resources. Everything underground has not been touched. These are all too many items, so that way if somebody actually wants to use this for a server world, that would be fine. Just give me the shout out for it. I'd appreciate it. I wanted to have the upper part of the town a lot further than this. Unfortunately, I went through a dry spell there and just couldn't get things rolling here. The tracks we put in last week or the week before, I wanted to get that into a station so that you could ride from at least here down to the ships, because the ships are way the fuck down. So I don't know if maybe first thing in the morning I'll get up and we'll definitely try to maybe get in a quick station or something. If not, like I said, if it's creative, you guys can just follow the tracks all the way down, keep going straight, and you'll run into all three ships: the submarine, the aircraft carrier, and the battleship. So, all right, the Spax Tech Marble. Sorry about that. My throat's getting really, really dry again from all the live streaming. I just can't handle it at my old age. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and shut this down for a minute. And always make sure that your Minecraft client is closed before doing any kind of modding, of course. And we're going to pull up... let me get a new link up here. All right, so I've got it bookmarked, but you should be able to go to McEDIT. McEDIT. Just put it in Google, and I know it used to come up on this world editor, and this isn't the page I usually use, so we'll just kind of scroll down through here for a minute. The latest report, official site, McEDIT 1.3. I'm on 1.5. I know that. Where's the fucking download at? Right here, maybe. That's the changes, so that's not it. Let's go back to the first page on Google. Right here. Is that it? No, why isn't it bringing... Oh, there... No. Where the fuck are the goddamn downloads at? I've got it bookmarked in my mods. McEDIT. I did have it. Well, goddamn it, where the fuck is it? Where's world edit? Alright, let me go back a minute, guys. Guess I'm totally unfucking prepared for this. It was sitting there, just like everything else. Okay, this is one of them. God, this sucks. What a shitty fucking start, guys. Sorry about this. McEDIT. As soon as I find the download, if I don't... Okay, is this it right here? McEDIT dev download 1.6 build. Alright, so it's at GitHub. And this is not fully supported like it used to be. It switched a while back, and now it still works, but I don't think it's updated as frequently. Because what you're going to do is you're going to there's your Mac, there's your Windows, AMD 6432. So that's your 64-bit, and that's your 32-bit, I do believe, on your 1.6 build. 17 downloads. Pretty sure this is it. Let me check that real quick. File is not found. A fucking course not. All right, so I'm gonna have to put the link in the description when I'm done. I'm gonna have to track this bastard back down because they've moved it again. So anyways, what you're gonna get when you download it, and I'm gonna pull my folder over here. It'll be a zip file that says McEDIT, and then I'll have the version number on it, and then 1 point whatever the shit. You'll unzip it to a main folder. And if you have extract WinZip, like I do, if you just right click on the zip and extract to the folder, it'll make a folder for you, and then you can just put this wherever you want. I've got mine on the desktop because that's the easiest place to find it for me. You can put it in My Documents or wherever. Inside you're going to have some folders and some other bullshit, and then you're going to have your application right here. I've got another one that says Old. Whenever this does update, you'll get a notification through McEDIT. It'll update, and it'll give you a new application, and then it'll call the previous version an old version. So if for some reason you can't get this to run, you can back up and use the old version. Before I start that, there's one thing that I did forget, and it took me a while to figure out why it was doing this. Whenever you use McEDIT, your best bet is to make sure that your texture pack is back to default. Just change it and then close your client back out. Because what happens is McEDIT, sometimes it will glitch on certain texture packs because it's not updated. It doesn't read it or it doesn't understand it, and it just freezes on a white screen. I see a lot of people have commented over time on different forums that I've read, different videos that I've watched. They can't get McEDIT to work. It fucking sucks. The screen blacks up and or whites out, and they can't use it. That's why 9 times out of 10, that's probably why. Is load it back to default texture pack, and everything should be fine. Double click your application and let it load up, and you can see I'm running McEDIT 0.1.5. And then I'm running the 32-bit. I don't think there is a 64-bit for this. If there is, I'll find it. I'll put the links in the description after I'm all done with the live stream tonight, guys, and doing War Z. So just check back on this video probably tomorrow, because I'm sure I won't have, I guess, the time to really get to it tonight. I just want to go through the basic functions of how it works. So you can load your world, you can open a world. I've already opened up my final tutorial world. If the first time you're opening it up, you won't see this. You'll just see create new world, load world, and open a level. So if you load a world, it should read your default Minecraft folder and your saves inside. There's the Build It Better, all open 1.4. There's the flat world, and then my no bullshit texture pack review world that I'm working on some extra things for that series. So anyways, make sure whatever you want is highlighted. We're going to go into the final tutorial world, and we're going to load that up. But if it's not there, you can always open a level, and then you can navigate through your app data roaming Minecraft saves, open up the world, and then click on level data and click open. But because mine is there, I'm just going to load it up. We're going to go to the flat world, and again, you kind of start off glitched under the ground. So if you use the Q key, you will come up above the ground. You'll hold your right mouse button in and you'll get a block. Now you can turn and look wherever you want to. You'll use the WASD keys to fly. So wherever you're looking is where you're going to fly. So just kind of point the box and hit W, and we'll start flying forward. So I can use that for default navigation to fly in any direction that I want to, up, down, left, right, wherever. If I just want to move up and down, use Q to go straight up and Z to go straight down. So that's your main functions. As soon as I let go of the right mouse button, then all I have is a WASD movement. I can move the mouse, and I can't turn which way I want to go, so I have to hold the right mouse button in again, turn, and then I can go directional again by letting off the right mouse button. But I like to constantly hold the right mouse button in so I can turn a lot easier. Alright, so the white box that we're looking at right now on the screen, this is your selection box. So we're going to select an area down here on the ground, and you're going to want to make sure that this is lit up, and by default this will be the first one that's lit up. That's your selection box, and I'll go over some of these other ones here in just a minute. But you're going to left click to make your first selection. That's your first choice, and then you'll see your selection box starts to move. When you left click again, you now have a selection, and there's a lot of different things that you can do with this selection. One thing that's really easy to do, you can go to the fill and replace, which is the fourth one from the left hand side. If you left click on that, every block that you have in the game is right here. If you don't see it in this first list, you can either tab down or you can start typing it like wool, and it brings up all the wool except for the black wool. The black wool, you actually have to type in at least BL and probably A before that comes up. Or if you happen to know the item ID, 35 for wool, 5 for wood. We're going to go ahead and change this over, click OK. Because this is selected, now you kind of see a light brown hint to the screen. If you want to confirm that, you just click fill, and now that just filled that in, and we'll deselect it and take a look at it. Now everything that you do or that you're doing until you save it, it's not going to hurt anything in your Minecraft world. You can change it, you can back it up. I can completely exit out of this right now, and nothing is going to be changed in this flat world until I physically save it, and I'll show you guys how to do that here in just a little bit. So even though I turn this to wood, if the program crashes right now, or if I just go up here and exit out, it's not going to save it. It'll ask me to save it, but if I click no, it's going to be fine, no big deal. So anyways, you can do Control and then Z will bring back your selection box, or basically that's a step backwards from each step that you do. That way we can get our selection box back. You have different corners around your selection box. You have a top that you can pull up, you have sides that you can pull out, and you usually got to fly around, and you can see it light up on the sides of which one that you're grabbing. There's another way to do it. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. And to get the bottom, and my mouse has been kind of really fucking up here since yesterday. To get the bottom, I usually fly under it and then look up, and then I back off it a little bit, and you can see the orange highlight on the bottom. And left click and pull down, and now I'm going beneath the surface. So right click, and I'm going back up again. And down here you can see I've got 18 wide by 20 long by 14 high. That's how big my selection box is. Again, I can fill that, or I can replace that, or I can delete the selection with inside that box by just clicking delete blocks. And now I have a big hole in the ground. Or I can Control Z and I can put it back. I can deselect and I can start all over again. So if you double click and you didn't get it where you wanted it, you can just hit deselect and start over. You also have, and I'm going to select this wood again, you have nudge buttons down here. If you left click on one of them, we'll start with the left one, and you use your WASD keys, that's going to control the direction of the box. And depending on which way you're facing is going to depend on which one controls what. I can't tell you which one's which. You'll just have to left click and hold one, and then just move your box to see which part moves. Right now I'm using W, and usually it's the way you're facing is going to be like the W key. So if I move over here and then I click this again, and now I use the W key, now it's going to move this side instead of the other side that I was just moving with the same keys, W and the S. So it's going to be based on whichever way you're facing and then whatever edge. If I grab this one, now it should be this edge moving W and S. This one is W and S. And then A and then D. So basically left and right when you're looking at it, and then same thing here, left and then right. So depending on which way you're looking at it, and is going to depend on the buttons, but your WASD is going to be which way you're facing. And then you can left click again on the left of the right one, and you can go a Q, and you can go up with the, or you can go down with the Z. If I click the right one, that's going to control the bottom face. Again, it's going to be depending on which way you're looking. If I left click on that and I got Q, now you can see it's pulling up the bottom, and now it's pushing the bottom back down. So you have a lot of control over the selection box. The unfortunate side of it is square. So if you're trying to do some really weird designs and stuff, MCEDIT is very hard for doing things like that. So that's the main functions of how to select an object. We can import an object, which we're going to do here in just a minute. Fill and replace. So let's go ahead and fill this up with wood. Alright, now I have a selection of wood. So let's deselect that. I come in here and I built this in my world. I don't like it. It's a house or whatever the hell, and I want to change the wood over to something else. Just select the region just like that. We're going to go back to fill and replace, and we're going to choose the wood. I don't like the wood. I want to replace it with cobblestone. Click OK, and you can do a swap or replace. I always do a replace, and you can see it's changed everything that was inside that selection that was wood changed over to that second substance. So if you have a lot of different materials inside this selection, you can change just one material at a time and work your way through and change everything over. So I've changed a lot of builds of mine that I built in one material. I went back and I built it and changed it over with MCEDIT using like a double slab, or I changed it over to wood. Or if I want to change the pirate ship over to all double slab, I would select all the wood, which is 17.1. So I would select that ship. I would do a fill and replace to a 17.1. replace with 5, which would be a normal wood, and then the whole boat would switch over and would be solid wood. So like I said, this is a very powerful program. It's awesome. Depending on your system will depend on how much lag you're going to get, depending on how much, again, how much work that you do within McEDIT. If you start changing a lot of big areas, you're going to have a long save time or a long render out time to change the world. There's lighting effects that it has to take into play. If you're working with water, it has to calculate the different water settings. This whole area over here was 600 blocks by 382, I think. I dropped it in and set it and imported it, and it took all of probably about 15 to 20 seconds at the most to plan it in here and then save it same way. But I've got a very fast computer. If you try to do that on a laptop, I do some of the stuff at work on my laptop, and it takes probably 2 to 3 times as long. And I'm going to show you here in just a second. Say we wanted to save this right here. We're going to just deselect it for right now. I'm going to hold down the control key, and you have a lot of different options. There's a graphics option, which you can see all up here too. Your view distance, if you're getting a lot of lag, you can turn that down. I think 12 is the highest that it goes. There's different things that you can show, your entities, items, all kinds of stuff here. I just leave everything by default. You've got a chunk view, which is good for setting up, I guess, servers and things like that. So it kind of breaks everything down, and this gives you kind of a real good idea of what's around you too. So I'll go back to the camera view because that's just what's easiest for me to work with anyways. But anyways, holding down the control, down here you can see it says 5 unsaved edits, Control S to save. You can do it that way. I like to hold down the control key and physically click it so I don't accidentally hit the wrong key. But I can reload the world. If I've made a whole bunch of changes and I decide I don't like anything that I've done, I want to reload the whole world and start over, I can just click reload and it'll say save or don't save. I can save that change, or I want to reload the world and start over. This whole area will be right back the way it was when I first started. I'm going to cancel that out. Or I can just do a reload. It'll do the same thing. I can load a different world. I can just go ahead and close out. If I go ahead and close out, if you have any unsaved edits, it'll ask you if you want to save them or not. There's world info. There's now a biome changer, which I'm going to get into that here in just a few minutes. But anyways, I can hit control and hit save. And I guess that was so damn small you didn't even see it. You see the bar goes across, but if I had a lot of stuff, it would turn red. There would be a big section of red across the screen with transparency, and excuse me. And as that red disappears, that's your computer rendering out that area. So don't make any changes, don't touch anything until that red is completely gone. Once you hit the save button, sit back, relax, let your computer do its shit. Depending on the speed will depend on how long it takes. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there for now. And you pretty much got the basic idea of how to at least change some blocks, make a selection. We're going to come over here and we're going to open up a schematic, and I'm going to show you where these are saved. If you go into my documents, McEDIT will by default put an MC schematic folder here, and this is where all your schematics will be saved. And by default it comes with some already preloaded in there, and there's just a few of them, and they're kind of shitty. But anyways, I try to organize all my stuff for like JAG's package and whatever, but these are all schematic files, and this is the only way that you can open these is with McEDIT. But that's not how you import them. Down here is your import button. It looks like a crane. You're going to left click on that, and it's by default it's going to open up my documents McEDIT. This is looking at the same folder that we just looked at before, and you're going to find the schematic that you want to load. If you don't have any, I'm going to show you how to make one of those here in just a minute too. We're going to let's grab the barn schematic. So just left click on it and click open, and now you can see it floating around in its own selection box. At this point you can place it wherever you want to. If you hover over things, wherever the mouse touches, it's going to act like a mountain, and it's going to push this up and down. So you want to try to keep a level spot, and then if you want to move it up on top of something, use your WASD keys and your nudge key, and I'll show you that here in just a second too. But get it about where you want it. I'm moving it around with the mouse right now. If it's over here off the screen and you can't get to it, if I hold down my right mouse button, it pulls the schematic up into my face, and now I can turn with the schematic and maybe put it over here, or right click and pull and maybe put it over here. And as you see, as I touch these other pieces, the barn wants to lift up, and it would actually set wherever this mouse is touching. That's going to be the bottom of the barn, which is kind of helpful, and it's more of a kind of an advanced tip when setting schematics. It helps line things up when you get really good at it. But for now, we'll just find an empty spot. We'll left click. Now it's actually set on the map, so I can turn, and that's where it's at. If I don't like where it's at, I can always rotate it, roll it, flip it, and you can do all that before you set it too. You can roll it over, stand it on edge, we can flip it. All kinds of really cool things you can do if you're doing a specific build, and you build the whole left side of it, and you want to copy that over to the right side. Then all you have to do is you can mirror it and make two different copies together. So if I split this in half and I want to turn the other half around, I would select the right half and then mirror it or flip it or whatever. That's kind of complicated, and I'm not going to go quite that far into MCEDIT. There's a lot of stuff that you can do right here, but it does, at a basic level, this is good for dropping in schematics, getting them in your world. You've built something cool, you want to make a schematic of it and put it in a different world. This software is just as untouched, in my opinion, by anything. Again, once it's in, if it's not quite where I want it, you can use this nudge key over here. We'll move the schematic once it is in place, or a selection that is already in place in the world. So if I select something that is already set and I want to move it, or if I want to cut it off the map or whatever, this program will allow you to do that too. But for right now, this is set on the map. And remember, it's not saved, but it's setting here, and I don't have any functions down here to move it. So if I go to the nudge key and I left click, I can WASD and I can move the schematic because it's not imported yet. We'll import it and then we'll move it again. So at this point, like I said, WASD, Q to go up, Z to go down. And if you're trying to get it level with the ground, if it's a schematic that's already been cut to the ground, it should automatically set flat. If you're pulling schematics off of Planet Minecraft or something like that, and somebody's got some that's got some dirt underneath it, and it'll be setting up off the ground like this, then you can right click, and I always get down to a corner, and so I can see it. So I can see the schematic come down, and I either match up the grass or the water, or in this case I want to see this wood. I'll nudge it and I'll take it until it disappears in the ground right there, and then I'll come up one, and that's where the schematic needs to be setting. So when I'm happy where it's setting, now I click the import button, and see that red? It'll last a lot longer if you have a slower system. Now at this point the schematic is still selected, so at this point I can either deselect it and say I'm happy with it, or I can continue to mess with the schematic as far as changing the wood over with a fill and replace. I can clone it, and I can move it again. Now I've got two more keys up here that are nudge keys, and these are directional, so I'm going to kind of face this, and I'm going to click the left nudge button, and then you have a right one too, a green and a white. And we'll go ahead and click the left one, and we're going to go D, and as you can see it's moving and it's turning red because now it's physically planted in the world. It's still not saved, but your RAM is now holding this, saying this is where you want it. Again, so this program will be dependent on your RAM. So if you're doing a lot of shit and you've got a slow computer and low RAM, it's going to take a while to make big, huge changes in your world. So again, we can move it one block at a time by holding down the nudge key and just tapping WASD or Q or Z to move up or down. If you need to move it any large distance, you can hold down that key, left mouse button, and hold down the shift key on your keyboard, and now do WASD or Q or Z, and we can get bigger movements. I think it's 10 block movements, but I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly. But as you can see, now I'm getting a lot bigger movements So that really helps out. And it's the same thing with your selection. I can select more once with this selection box too. If I go back down here, and now you can see I can move the selection box out more and say there were some other things. I wanted this barn in the middle. There were some neat trees here. I wanted to pick up that whole area without reselecting the area because the selection box is already there. Now I can come down here, and this will control the selection box. This will control the main box area as far as the full schematic and everything inside of it. So hopefully that makes sense. So again, at this point, I've done what I wanted to do. The barn's where I want it. I'm happy with all the materials. I don't want to change the red wool or anything over. I can just deselect it. The barn is now there. It's in the world. All I have to do is control save, and next time I load the game up, this is exactly where the barn is. If I don't like it, control Z, I can go back and delete the blocks, deselect it, and the barn is gone. So that's pretty much how that works. What else we got? Fill and replace. We already went over that. There are filters that you can add, and this probably isn't the greatest world to be doing this in, but you'll get some schematics like my ships. Some will have water. I think the submarine right now, the schematic does not have water, and I'm going to show you how to put that in water without making a serious mess, and how to put water around it, like on a flat world, so that your schematic has water around it. When you set this into an ocean or something, it will copy the water too. And that'll all make sense here in just a minute. So anyways, I've already made my selection here. I'm going to copy, let me copy, let's see. Let me copy this bottom part here, because I want to redo this. So I'm just going to make my selection here. I'm going to fly back over here. And now I'm going to do a copy. So over here I can either cut that out, copy it, or if I have already selected it, it'll paste it. When I do a copy, it goes up here, and this is where you save your schematic. So once you have a selection made, if you click copy, your schematic will be drawn up here in the right hand corner. When you click save, it'll open up your folders, your McEDIT schematics. You can give it a name and then click save, and then it'll automatically put it in there for you. I don't really want to save this, I just want to clone it is all I want to do. So if I left click the schematic itself, I pick it up, and I'm going to place this right here. Now at this point I can either copy water and air. Anything inside of your selection box, every block is a block. So when you have an air block and you have water blocks, you can choose in McEDIT to copy those air blocks or copy those water blocks, which is really cool. Because if you just want this pirate ship and you open up the schematic for that and you drop it down and it's got the water around it, when you drop the schematic down, you can actually remove the water before you even set it into your world by unclicking the copy water. The copy air, if you drop this in, it copies it as all the air blocks. So when you set it down, if there's any trees or anything near that schematic, it's going to wipe it and cut it completely flat and flush with the edge of this schematic. So if there was a tree line that just barely came into right here, if I copy the air and there's this schematic is taller than is all air blocks above this, when I drop that in, it's going to cut them trees off perfect. So like I said, you got to kind of use some judgment when you're dropping in your schematics, whether you actually need the air or whether you actually don't need the air or the water. I'm going to copy the air because there is none in this particular schematic that I just dropped with inside of McEDIT. I don't want the water, so I'm going to import. Now I have an empty box right here. This is going to be the ship. So I'm going to deselect that for just a minute. And I picked up the bottom part of my ship, which is fine, because what I want to show you is how to add water to a section that doesn't have water, and how to get it even. And this will work the same way inside of a regular world where you've got like a fucked up section, or say you just dropped this into your ocean, you copied all the air blocks, and now you're missing all that water that was around that boat. So we're going to say all this grass around it is water. And this would actually be flush to the water level because you would drop that down. So let me back that up for a minute, and let's do it that way. So see if by hitting Control Z, it's completely gone again. God, my fucking mouse is really fucked up. The selection is still over this, and I still have this up here. So if I deselect that, and I'm like, oh fuck, I can't get that. It's still right here. So I can pull that back up, and I'm going to drop that back down, and I'm going to nudge that flush to the ground. Okay, so we're going to pretend that this is water around here right now, and I'm dropping in a schematic that does not have water in it. So I'm going to not copy the water. We're going to import it. And did I copy the air? No, I didn't either, did I? I should have. Should have copied the air blocks and erased all that grass. I think there's still some minor glitches with this. Let me try this again. Let me do it this way. Copy air, don't copy water. Import it. It's still selected. Now I'm going to nudge the whole thing down. Alright, deselect. Alright, as you can see, it took the air blocks and it pretty much ate away everything that was there. So you just drop this in the water, and this is what you have. You're like, oh fuck, now I can't get water around it, and there's no way to do it in creative mode. So we're going to drop it in McEDIT, and this is going to be your wall barrier of water around it. You must select water before you can flood it. So I'm going to select this wall first. I'm going to pull it out a little bit, and then I'm going to pull off this wall like that. So I'm going to create water in here first. We can assume that maybe there's not water here, or we have a barrier around it and we want like a swimming pool. Either way, water has to be selected before I can fill this whole area with water. I could select the whole area and change all the air blocks to water, but any air blocks within the schematic are going to fill with water. So there's a nice feature in here where I can flood this, and it won't affect the schematic one bit. But first I have to create a section of water. So I make a selection. You have active water, and I want regular water. I don't want it running or making any kind of weird shit. So I select that. I'm going to fill it. And as you can see, now I have a block of water in the corner. So I'm going to reselect that again. Or come down here to the far corner. And I'm going to pull the schematic this way, or the selection block I should say, and then I'm going to pull it this way to where I need it. And now this whole area I want filled with water, but I don't want to do a fill, I want to do a filter. So you click on filter, and up here you've got a classic water flood. You can smooth things out, you can set your biome. So if this was a snow biome, you would click on that, and we get a whole new set of options that will come up. Topsoil, if you got a lot of stone and you want one layer of grass on top of little mountains that you made or whatever. There's a lot of things to this program, guys, and you know I'm not going to go over a lot of this stuff because it's really involved. But I do want to show you how to flood and use the water, because I have boat schematics now and I have people asking me how to do this. So you're going to make this selection and make sure that you have water selected. If you haven't put water in your selection area, and you're going to use the ocean out here, just grab just a little bit of it is all you're going to need. As long as this selection box is touching water, wherever you select past that is going to flood. So we're going to go classic water flood. We don't want to flood lava, we want to flood water. So make sure that's clicked. Click the filter button and give it a minute to calculate everything, and it will flood in. And then I pick the selection box again and deselect it, and as you can see, we filled this with water, and there's no big patches or holes up under here like it does if I would have just tried to do like an air filter or pull this up to it and let it flood in. If I use World Edit, sometimes World Edit will create a lot of pockets of air, and as you can see, the schematic inside is untouched. There's no water inside at all. So this works really, really awesome for placing boats in your harbor or anything like that. So anyways, hopefully that helps out a lot for a lot of people that were wondering how that works. Okay, so we know how to make a schematic. We know how to save a schematic. Like I said, there's different filters. You can move your player. If you click on this, you can choose your player. There should be one. For some reason, I get multiple players in mine, so you have to find which one is yours. select it. I'm going to select that. I can go to the player. I can go to his view, or I can move the player. So I'm going to click move the player and left click and put him here. And see, I've got another one over here for some reason. There's one here and there's one there. I don't know why I'm picking up multiple ones. It may be a glitch with McEDIT. In the Build a Better World, there's actually 3 guys floating around in that one. So I don't highly recommend using this. We now have... let me back up a minute. Yeah, so if you want to move your player while you're inside of McEDIT, you can do it. Just move both your guys to wherever the fuck you're at, or however many you have over here. Move them to the area, because it is a lot easier to fly around in McEDIT to go from one area and build something, and then your guys way the fuck over at another area, but you want him at the new area that you just built when you load it up. Go ahead and move your player and you save it. That's where he'll be. Whenever McEDIT starts up, it will start up wherever your guy was standing. So you'll have to fly to the area that you need to make your adjustments in. Like I said, you can move your players. You can also set your spawn point. Again, with that, not really the best option. It works, but because there's different players now, I think it works fine, but I haven't actually tried it. 1.4, now you have your commands, your slash commands, and you can set your spawn by, I think it's slash set spawn, I think is what it is. You can get your help section up, slash help, and it'll tell you anyway. So you set your spawn at a different location, but you can also do it with this. This is chunk control. Don't fuck with it. I'm just going to tell you straight up, unless you know what the hell you're doing, you can totally fuck up your world by using this. I don't use it. I've never touched it. I've been using McEDIT for over a year. I've got no reason to have any kind of chunk control. That's usually if you get a fucked up world and you've got some like bad lighting issues, or you've got a corrupt world and you need a certain chunk fixed. You can select an area, hit chunk control, and it will readjust that area and try to correct it'll scan it. It'll try to reconfigure the lighting in that area and all that kind of happy horse shit. I've had no reason to use this, to be honest with you. If you get to that point, your world's totally fucked up. You might as well start a new world. But that's just my opinion. Brush tools. There are brush tools in here, which are really fucking awesome. Left click on that, and now I have a brush tool. Up here you have a mode. You have fill, flood fill, replace, erode, topsoil, and paste. Usually fill is what I use. You can use erode, so you can use the brush tool to eat away the ground in the shape that you have. We're going to stick with fill for right now, and you have 3 different brushes. You have a round, a square, and a diamond shape. And these tips are controlled by these numbers right down here. And to make this a little bit easier so you can see, I don't know what that chance is. Point here, use mouse wheel, adjust. I just leave it at 100. You can use it hollow or not. So if you want to make a dome, you'll pick up the round, and we're going to make it 20 by 20 by 20. So I'm just scrolling my mouse wheel, and there's my dome. And you're saying, well, I can only see half of it. If you scroll your mouse wheel, now I can bring it up above the ground. And if I check the hollow, I will have a hollow globe filled with stone. If I don't want stone, I left click on that, say I want it out of dirt, click OK. Now I have a dirt globe, and it's going to be hollow. So that's how you control your materials and how big you want it. So say I want an oblong one, I'll scroll this out, say 60, and now you can see I've got a football shape. And same thing here, you can work on your width or your height. So you can mess around with these different numbers and get some different rounded shapes, disc shapes. It works the same way with squares. So if you want a perfect square, 60 by 20 by 37 made out of dirt, you can select it right here instead of trying to make a selection and then pull it out with your selection box. You can do it with the brush tool. And once you got what you want, you left click and boom, I've got a huge pile of fucking dirt now. And the tool is still active, so I can just keep adding that. If I didn't like where it was, Control Z, and it's gone. The diamond will do more of a mountain type thing, so if you're doing any kind of terraforming, you'll set your height. Let's see if I can get one that looks something like a mountain. Where the fuck is it? Something like that anyways. And you can just roll it down to wherever you want it. And I'm going to cover this thing with grass here in just a second. This one gets a little harder to use because I have a bottom on it right now. Let me put the height to, let's see, let me roll this down for a minute. Alright, something like that. And I'm going to take it down to the ground and bring it up 1. Left click, and now I have a mountain. Go back to my selection tool so I can see it. And I made some sort of a mountain. Now, instead of changing all this over to dirt or grass on the surface, by using a select mode, I can select this area, and now I can do another filter and go to topsoil, and I want my depth to be 1. So I just want 1 block depth over this whole area that is exposed to be covered in grass. Or again, I can change the block. Click filter, and now I have my very own mountain. But I don't like it, so I'm just going to Control Z until it's gone. And that's it. And as you see, every time you do something, you get an unsaved down here, or something you can save. Because I haven't saved anything at all yet. I can reload this whole world. All this shit will not be there or anything. So hopefully, all right, guys, question time. Throw some questions up here. Let's see what you guys want to know about this. There's not too much that I don't know about. Like I said, I've been using McEDIT for a long fucking time. Go to Planet Minecraft, and you can download schematics. Not all day long. They've got all kinds of shit over there. See, Planet Minecraft. The other one is mcschematics.com. That's another good one. I hope I'm still streaming, or my fucking shit didn't update over here. Map block. Let me mute that out. Okay, it didn't fucking update. Sorry, guys. 66%, not good enough. You guys are chatting back and forth. Cool. Make sure you throw a like down there for me too. I'd appreciate that. Oh yeah, super easy to make a Death Star. Oops, deselect that. You can just pick it out of iron blocks, make a perfectly round circle, 60 by 60 by 60, make it hollow, click it, go inside and fill things up. So yeah, it works great. I mean, you can really use this for a lot of different things. When this went unsupported back probably about 7 or 8 months ago, I guess it's been now, the guy that was actually in charge of this program, he dropped it, and somebody else had picked it up. So it was basically what they call an unsupported software. He updates it every so often, and excuse me guys, as you can see, I'm using it in my 1.44 world, vanilla. It will copy modded blocks, but only certain ones. I can't give you a list. I can't tell you which ones. I know that Better Than Wolves does work. I have Better Than Wolves schematics. The only problem is, if you guys import those into your Better Than Wolves world, do not rotate the schematics. When you rotate a modded schematic, it will turn all the vanilla blocks within that schematic. If you flip it, roll it, anything other than when you first lay the schematic in like it was copied, if you do anything else as far as, like I said, rolling it or rotating it, it will not move the modded blocks. So like my elevators that I have made, if you put it in there and you rotate it, it's fucked. It won't work. You'll have to go in your regular world when you're all done. You can still place the whole thing in there. You're just going to have to go back into your modded out world and replace all them blocks and turn them all. So that, like I said, I do know it does work with that. I had to take a drink, guys. Just like last week, all this talking just rubs my throat just raw as shit. mcedit.net/windows.html has 64-bit. Sorry, Matt, my phone's on vibrate, so it doesn't pick all this shit up. Matt has found the 64-bit copy of McEDIT. Again, it's mcedit.net/windows.html, and that's 64-bit. I will put that link in the description. When I'm all done here and the video gets processed and all that good shit. So hopefully everybody got what they wanted out of the McEDIT tonight. I don't see anybody asking any more questions. Anything else anybody want to know about this episode tonight? Like I said, we went over all the BIB stuff. The world download hopefully tomorrow. Texture pack, the custom texture pack will be downloadable along with it. And then the schematic world that you're looking at now, this will be in probably another week or two, and this will be kind of like what was going to be JAGS Package 2 has become BIB Flat World, Schematic World, or whatever. If you haven't thrown a like down there yet, throw one down there for me, and let me check the comments one more time to make sure there's nothing else, that I didn't miss anything. No, everybody looks good. Matt, Bidden, all you guys, appreciate you stopping by. Yo Mommy, if you're still here, thank you for watching this week's episode of Build It Better Workshop. I know it was a short one. I've got one more week of doing this before my rotation of work screws me out of my Friday night live streams. So I've got one more episode next week. Be sure to catch that one. I would appreciate it. I know you guys watching follow me on Twitter, so you know when these things are coming. And I guess that's it, guys. If there's any questions, just PM me. And if not, just remember to remember, rate, comment, all that good shit. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. War Z coming up here in probably about 30 minutes. I got to get things set up and roll everything over into the next stream. We're going to be doing some War Z. Join us, and we'll see you on that one, guys. Later.